Hi, I'm Lionel, this is techloto, and remember, if I use it, I'll review it. So today, let's look at the Libratone Zipp Classic. I absolutely love this speaker and I've been using it for about 6 years. It's a bit older now and there are newer versions that came out, but I still didn't upgrade. It may leave people wondering what's the point of keeping such an old speaker, especially when there are newer versions of the same thing from the same brand coming out. Well, it's because newer isn't always better. So when it comes to the Libratone, this is not a Bluetooth speaker. Yes, it is marketed as a portable speaker and it can be that, but it was for a certain time. This is actually a Wi-Fi speaker, which makes it a lot more interesting. So let's get straight into it. Just to get into it from the get-go, some of the older features that you might find in this that you might not really expect to see in newer speakers or newer portable speakers. Number one is it actually has a jack-to-jack input, which for the time it was created is absolutely necessary. But nowadays with most phones, which is what I think most people will be using this with, you don't actually even have a jack input. Yes, if you have the adapter, it works very well, but that's not something people really rely on anymore. By the way, today's video is sponsored by komimarket.com, so run the clip. Yeah, it's all a bit interesting, isn't it? Just head over to komimarket.com and make sense of what you just saw. The next thing you have here is a USB port, and that's intended for you to use it for USB play. So if you have an Android device, that's bad news. Unfortunately, Android devices, as much as I prefer them to Apple devices, I've done something really stupid where they don't allow USB play anymore. So you can't connect this via USB for your Android devices. But when it comes to iOS, you can still connect it, play it. So far, I'm not selling this as the best speaker ever, and it doesn't really make sense why I've kept a hold of it. But I'll let you know why I've kept a hold of it. This is kind of my budget Sonos speaker. Well, I can't really say budget because the sound that this emits is still very difficult to rival. I don't think that even the new speakers compare to what this packs. Getting a closer look to what's actually inside of this, you'll realize it's so powerful. One thing I really value about this is the Wi-Fi play. So the way that I've made this older speaker relevant for me in 2020 is by putting it in my kitchen. I can still connect it to my iPad, and all the sound that comes out of my iPad will automatically play onto this. That means I can be watching YouTube, I can even watch a film while I'm cooking. So it's just nice to have that feature. But the secret thing that I love about the Libratone Zipp is that it has Spotify Play. For people who've used Spotify Play, you already know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, all that means is if you have a Wi-Fi device that's connected, so a Wi-Fi speaker like the Libratone, that means you can connect your Spotify from wherever you are. If you're in a different room, a different house, even a different country, as long as this is connected to Wi-Fi and you have another device that's connected to the internet. Just to give you an example, when I'm on holiday and I've gone away, I open my phone, I go to devices on Spotify, and then I select, well, it's named Kitchen, but I select the Libratone and I play music from there. It gives that illusion that someone's still home. Obviously you have the smart home setup as well, so I switch my lights off and on. So I actually find that this is still a really useful piece of kit. One thing that I appreciate about Libratone is that even though it's an older device, it was more expensive, they're not really selling it anymore and it's been discontinued, the support is still available. So all you need to do is download the Libratone app and you can make adjustments to this bad boy. Based on where you put it, you can make adjustments to the spaces around it, and it really gives a different sound whether you put it on the floor, whether you put it on a table, whether you put it in between a certain space. Really, the setting that I like the most for any of my speakers is just when it's on that classical music setting, because it registers all the frequencies. So the Libratone Zipp Classic, it's old, but I really can't see anything else rivaling this. I wouldn't give this up. I feel like it's the kind of thing that I can always find a use for. It may not have all the bells and whistles anymore, but it still gives out such a beautiful sound, and having your sound played over Wi-Fi instead of Bluetooth is always going to be better anyway. Is this something that you can have as your dedicated home entertainment system? No, you can't have it as a speaker connected to your television, even though I did for about a year. I wouldn't really recommend that. It's just that nice speaker that you can have somewhere around the house where you wouldn't normally expect to have music. So to conclude, the Libratone Zipp, it's an amazing speaker and it definitely stands the test of time. It's something that I won't be letting go anytime soon, even for a Bang & Olufsen speaker. I just feel like I'll always find a use for it, always find somewhere to put it, even if it's just a little corner in the house where I can make use of it. Again, thank you very much for watching, and if you did find this video helpful, remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment letting me know what you think of the Libratone Zipp.